You know what, manga fans? It's been a bit. I know I said I would do continue reading mangas and new series come out. Yes. Just again got lazy. Also had a haircut recently and stuff. Anyway, Bishop reviewing part 9's newest chapter, chapter 33. And interesting enough, it's labeled as Act 2. Yeah. That's interesting. Sure, we cut the main story out of the way with the whole Howler thing. But Howler's definitely going to come back as the antagonist. Where's Rocky got cooking up? Call this Act 2. Now, normally in JoJo, comes to specific portions of the story, sparing the parts, acts and stuff. Because Shop Vanderbilt it does have 2 halves. Or up to the first half goes up to the first battle against Dio. After awakening his vampire abilities. The second half of Phantom Blood is basically all about to come after. It's basically the Harmon arc. No, you got me. Part 2 is basically the Harmon training story. Jonathan training to use Harmon. Jonathan training to use Harmon. And take down Dio once and for all. Basically, goes from that to all the way to the end of the part. Power Tendency is a little trickier. This first half is pretty short. Not really. Like, first half just going on to the battle against Santana. Before awakening the actual awakening the Pillar Men. So I guess in that second half. It's not really clear for me. But for Joe, part 3 is obviously the part you can get to. Like, it's split into 2 halves. The first half is the travel around the world portion, where we travel around from Japan to Cairo to Egypt. The second half is about in Egypt, all the way up to the final fight against Dio. It was a pretty easy out. The anime did that too, split up into 2 seasons. Part 4, a little more easier. The first half always goes up to the battle against Akira Toshi. Basically the first major antagonist of the story, since Keicho was revealed pretty early on. The second half focuses more on Kyo, even though he does take some time to be introduced. Yeah. I'll tell by that. I'll read the part 4 manga. Part 5 has a clear first and second half. The first half is basically taking on the Squadra, the battle to protect Trish, and the battle against the and the fight against the Squadra. All to get Trish safely to Ohara. The second half is them running away from the boss. Is basically double crossing the boss. Now we actually work to find out his identity and kill him. Stone Ocean also has sort of half the prison portion, which is a big chunk of the story. Here's a big chunk of the story. The second final portion, basically the Sons of Dio saga. The Sons of Dio battle, which is only just 3 fights for Pucci. But the whole Simu Heaven arcs are interesting now, right? But yeah, I think the prison and breaking out are separate portions. Like the first half ends with a battle against Mew Mew. The second half is when breaking out of prison. Steelman doesn't really have halves. For Steelman, I didn't really notice any splits in the story. Because there's 95 chapters, it raises the focus. So, don't really count that one. Part 8 definitely has spars. The first half was basically Josuke discovering his identity. We eventually found out the truth about Josuke's heritage. of battles as well, people. And the first half is pretty strong. The second half's kind of weak. What I gathered. Yeah, the second half is against basically the hospital and the leader, Toro. So yeah, nearly all the parts have specific portions of the story split into halves. So this also be laid. So chapter 33 is being labeled as Act 2. It's interesting. I don't know what they're gonna be doing with that. Really, well, Rocky's gonna be doing that. He's definitely got something planned. So I speculate that JoJo's stand by evolve. Maybe. We don't know. We haven't had a stand evolution since Steel Ball 1, but that's more tied to Johnny's character development. But I think Josuke's stand of JoJo's stand evolving might work with his character growth. In other way, works his current personality, and eventually his stand will evolve to reflect his growth. If that does happen, I do not know. It's just a gap. Someone just posted. So it's just a theory someone put online. We don't know. I think that's the whole point. So here's the what Rocky's got planned. I don't know. Let's get into this chapter. It's actually a pretty good one. That's really we get this arc basically set around Usagi in a way. Delving more into his backstory, delving more into his life. Because don't forget, we already got stories with the other characters. So we actually learn about Usagi's life a bit. So yeah. So the chapter opens up with they're trying to think about basically on how this cruise boat. Three unconscious people, Key West, that bank guy, I think Lamshaban, I don't know, remember that part, and Lulu's also there. When did they have time to do that? I say, how? When did they have time to do that? Okay. Oh, so anyway, some time has passed since then. As Joe is really. See, JoJo's now 16. Yeah, JoJo's now 15, but he's able to drive a car. He's driving a car. Yeah. So I assume JoJo's turned 16 quite recently, so he's able to get his driver's license. Since in America you had to be 16 to learn to drive. Well, in the UK you had to be like 21. Well, speaking of which, I'm now 25 years old. My birthday was just the other day, and well, I got something pretty cool for it. So, I'll show you at the end of the video, actually. Just keep it there for now. So yeah, Usagi's running with some shit about some flies he bought. Yeah, both him and Dragona are kind of being a little annoying. Johnny has a slam and telling him to shut up. Yeah. Usually Johnny was calm, but something must be on his mind. Something must be on his mind or something. Oh, just a mysterious. Let me introduce to a woman and her daughter named. Fuck, I forgot. Tammy? I think that's what her name is. Yeah, basically. That's just random. I hate it. What was it? Yes. It's actually pretty obvious what's gonna happen. Someone's one recruiter, she calls the company. It's pretty obviously it's just pretty obviously a scam. Well, how much they're asking and stuff. Always when I talk this happens. It's fine earlier too, actually. I went to see the Looney Tunes movie today. Yeah, well, not today, now, but you're right. The blew up with this back October 2024, I think. I don't remember. But according to sites, it said it came out in 2024. So 2 years ago. It apparently released in the UK on the 13th of February, on Friday. So, yeah. Good film too. I enjoyed it. Anyway. So after that, we cut. So it seems this man was obviously pulling for a scam. Then cut to Usagi. He arriving at home. Seems like his apartment's pretty empty. He's not sleeping on the couch. So the next day, at the boutique or at the hideout, the hideout. Paco's actually now got a job. Is able to get a job as a manager as he graduates. That's pretty cool. The gang's going up in the world. We also get confirmation that Shaman Man's gone back to his home. So, he hasn't even been around that long, really. He has a cool backstory. And that story's not been sold, so I don't think he's written out a story for good. No. I think he will join back up with the group at some point later. But I think he's just not going to be in this story arc for a bit. So we won't see him for the next couple of weeks, I think. A couple of months, I mean. You get what I mean. So I just don't think he's going to be appearing in this arc. Because it's still a bit... Because they just want to focus on... some things. Or he does appear in this arc and joins up with them a bit later. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. I just hope Rocky hasn't written out permanently. I like it. As I like Charming Man. But of course he hasn't done much other than shape-shifting powers. Uzagi comes in, and you can tell something's wrong with him. He's distressed. Anyway, he questions Mel McHugh about the money. They're sharing the money. But she reveals that due to a lot of issues going on, the military is still investigating Howler. Legal complications. So they won't be able to use... So basically, they can't make any profit off the land until the military give the okay, which could take years. Well, this is interesting. I think Mel May does show concern for them. I'm not sure Dragon's coming on the word. I think she is showing concern. Well, not showing. You get what I mean, though. I think she actually does care about them. I could be wrong. Still unclear if she's a Stan user or not. I mean, she's familiar with Stans, but She could have. She could have done some. Maybe she could have done some research on stands. She may have encountered with stands in the past and learned all about them. I actually like the idea of someone being a stand user, but more like Holly, as in their stands are dormant, but he's still able to see stands. I can see that in the future. And eventually, they can awaken their stands. Someone like that as a character, Someone like Trish, but she wasn't able to see stands at first. But she did eventually awaken her stand. I mean, something like that, but they can see stands when it started, like being dormant. So, also, hopefully get more. I really do hope we get confirmation on events on some things that happened in part 8. Because so far, this is more disconnected from part 8 for that. And then Jodio being the cousin being the niece to Holly. And being Kira's cousin. I mean, Yoshikage Kira's cousin. So, good question. What does Mary think of what happened when they heard the news about Kira back a few years, back in like 2011? I'm curious to know, like, are we ever gonna get a flashback about the news? What does Jodio think of his family? Will he ever meet Josuke? Because he's still alive, but he did not play a role, unlike previous protagonists, like Joseph coming back in part 8. Sorry, part 3, but older as a small main character, but JoJo's the protagonist, and JoJo did the same in part 4. Granted, he wasn't in part 5, but we still found a connection with Koichi appearing early on, and Jolene being the daughter of Jotaro. All those parts obviously felt more connected. So the part 7, 8, slightly. Since, Johnny's actions end up causes events to happen with some things that happen in part 8. It's all been okay. Like I said, this part was something else, disconnected from what happened in previous parts. As you want to see another English JoJo, like, we have a total of 3 American JoJo's right now. Yeah, we have a total of 3 American JoJo's. Like Jolene, I mean, she's half Japanese, yes, but she was born in America. There's also Johnny, and now Jodio. That's 3 American JoJo's. We have 2 British JoJo's. 3 Japanese JoJo's. 1 Italian JoJo. So Rocky's kind of inconsistent with the JoJo's. Does he know JoJo Siwa? Sorry, I got a topic. The video's going pretty long too, unintentionally. Anyway. And Ilme asks if Usagi's alright because he seems distressed. To tell him about, but he's gonna screw them. Somehow they actually got access to his bank because all the money's gone. And Colin, he tells her that it wasn't him, it was his mother who took the money and took his sister with her. His sister has a specific muscular disease. So basically, she has weaker muscles. I guess she has weaker muscle mass, so she's more fragile. So Sagi thinks his mother abandoned him. Sagi's acting erratic. So basically, they just end up, choking him out. Not killing him, obviously. No. Just enough to not to knock him unconscious for a bit. Basically, just give him time to rest. I think we've seen a different side of Meryl May here. I think she actually does care about these kids. She's sending them to, even though she might put them in danger, she is seemingly caring about them. I think. I don't know, I'm not really that clear on Meryl May yet. She's a leader, but she hasn't done much. I'm going to give them the missions for the part, or the specific story arcs. Or not. She did have a bit of a role in the whole cruise ship portion, but that's just about it. Well, hopefully earlier in the car, they dealt with some thugs. Well, memory reveals that most likely Sagi's mother was a victim of the cyber scam. And so the money. And basically, she ends up signing some kind of agreement that when her daughter dies, they can have all her organs. You see, it's just that she might have been kidnapped, but it's possible she might be on the run. Keeping her daughter with her so they don't get her. She didn't leave Usagi out, or did she have enough time to? Melmy asks if they're gonna help him. It's none of their business, but both Jogona and Paco are gonna agree. They feel showing that they actually are starting to care about each other as not really friends, but they are good people. It shows that side to them. Joey says he's gonna follow Jogona. That's how he does that. Basically, he's stuck. But if they're gonna do this, they take everything. Basically, he has a call from. He has a call in someone. Who's he calling? A familiar face. It's not directly stated who it is, but it is pretty obvious from image from specific pattern. Who he's calling is Rohan, making his return in the part since Jesus Christ 2023. Christ's sake. It's been like what? 3 years now since we last saw Rohan. Since the part debut too. Fucking hell. It's been that long, guys. So yeah, Rohan figured Jody will call him. And Jody reassures the two, reassures Jogona and Paco that Rohan's on their side. And in the chapter, so this is actually a pretty good arc to focus more on Sagi. And so far, he was the only one who has not yet got any backstory. The others just got backstories focused on specific portions of their fight. Like the whole thing with Jogona was to the Rohan portion, I think. As you learn a bit about their past. We will learn Paco's backstory in this fight against the 500 balloon stand. I can't remember the user's name. And we also learn Chandraman's backstory. So we now learn about Usagi's past. I wonder if they're going to join by another stand user, like a 6th Ranger or something. It's not really a common thing. JoJo doesn't do that all the time. So, why me a 6th Ranger? It's basically a nickname for a trope that has become popular in tokusatsu, more simply thanks to Super Sentai, with Dragon Ranger Burai. Basically, the Green Ranger in Power Rangers. That's where the 6th Ranger comes from. That's where the name comes from. 6th Power Ranger. It just became a nickname for that type of trope. Or other terms like pre-kills, mid-season kills as well. Digimon does it sometimes too. I made a Facebook post on the Digimon group about the 6 Rangers. I've not seen all the crosswords, so I don't say. But I count Mimi as more of a 6th Ranger, not her brother. Because she fills that role. And again, so this brother, I don't know. But basically, he kind of also does that with the secondary writers. So the Six Major Joke is pretty popular. So most of the new Gabbin series will do that as well. Add a fourth Gabbin. But I probably won't know about that until the summer. I'm not even watching the series yet. It's not even on YouTube now. Yeah, it's said to be released on the Toku Shouts YouTube channel, but it's not available here. I'm definitely gonna look at the post at some point. But yeah, really, I'm curious to know what Rocky's gonna be doing next month for this chapter, or chapter 34. What is Alex going for? And other scammer Stan uses. That's a big question. Curious to know what they're gonna be doing. But now, we'll just wait and see. Before I go, I want to show you what I got for my birthday. My first manga box set. It's obviously a Bleach contains the first 21 volumes, up to the start of the Visors, up to the start of the Rancor saga. The introduction of Shinji Hiroko. I do want to get the other two as well, but they're freaking expensive. Trust me, mate, they're bloody expensive. So I'm guessing that Collection 2 goes up to the Fullbin arc. Sorry. And this contains at least the start of it. And finishes off with finishes off the next box with a 1,000-year Blood War arc. So yeah. Anyway, where do you think the story's gonna go for this arc? And what do you think gonna happen for this? Was it Act 2? Let me know in the comments down. I'll see you guys next time for that video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time for that video. Super Jump out.